If you don't have an eating disorder and you want to skip this video, I promise I'm not going to hold it against you, but please come back on Sunday because there is a moment in Sunday's video you do not want to miss. Welcome to my channel and thank you for clicking on my video. This one is going to be a bit different to my usual Wednesday and Sunday uploads, and it is just kind of a one-off extra video. There are two reasons why I am filming this. The first is that because I'm focusing in my main videos so much on Easter content at the moment, I'm not really talking much about life stuff, and there's quite a bit that I want to share with you guys because basically if you've subscribed to my channel, that means we are now officially friends. So I want to share stuff with you. The second reason is that I've had it in my mind for a little while now that I'd quite like to do something like this. It's the kind of video I think would work quite well as a live session. But I just wanted to test the water, see if I like doing it, see if you guys like it. And yeah, just see how it goes. While this video is going to contain a bit of random chat and catch up, it is also going to be aimed at those who are struggling with an eating disorder. Before I get started, I'll just explain. On the floor, you can see a crochet blanket. I'm actually blocking it at the moment. If you don't know what that means, basically I squish it with water and then stretch it out to make it square. I don't have proper blocking equipment. I just use massive scented candles. So that's what's going on the floor behind me. When you live alone and you've got nobody to eat with, it can be really, really tricky. So I thought, why don't you guys eat with me? If you are alone and you are struggling, let's do lunch. The first thing I want to say is do not compare what I'm having for lunch to what you are having for lunch. Everyone has different nutritional needs. You may be at a different stage in your recovery journey. It is what it is. I've got a tuna mayo wrap with salad. It's a Mission Deli char grilled wrap. I am obsessed with those at the moment. They're also vegan. And then I've got the Vimto Remix squash. I think this is passion fruit, orange and peach flavour. It's very nice. If you're feeling at all anxious about eating, I would suggest closing your eyes and taking a few slow, deep breaths because that will calm you down. I normally cut the chewing to save time and because it's not the most interesting or exciting thing to watch, but I thought it might be more helpful to keep it in for this video. I haven't heated this up because I hate tinned tuna warmed up. It's just not for me. So instead of silence or music, you're going to be getting these annoying voiceovers every time I'm chewing. So the first life update is that I'm going to my first yoga class tomorrow. It's just a gentle beginner's class because I have no idea what my skill level would be. And my mum actually said she'd like to come as well. So it's going to be kind of a mother-daughter bonding exercise and I am looking forward to going. I managed to poke myself in the eye with my mascara wand this morning, and if you've ever done it yourself, you know the pain. I managed to pick up a couple of yoga mats for us from B&M, originally £10 each, reduced to £3. So yeah, thought they'd do nicely because we don't know if we'll keep going to yoga for any length of time. It depends how we get on with it and how good at it we are and stuff. B&M actually only had 3 yoga mats left in stock, so I was so lucky to get them. And they had the pattern on, which I'd seen online, and that was the one that I'd wanted, so yay! I quite like the look of aerial yoga, where you hang upside down and stuff. I think that would be so much fun. That would not be one my mum would come to, but it's something I might look into in the future. But for now, I'll stick to just doing it on the ground until I see exactly how difficult I find it. I don't know if it would be helpful during this kind of video to give tips and things on how to manage feelings of anxiety or distress with eating. You can let me know in the comments below, or if you want to DM me on Instagram and tell me privately anything that you would find helpful or that you want me to discuss if I do any videos like this in the future. And it is a big if, because I just don't know if this sort of concept is going to work or not. As I've said many times before, I'm no expert and I can only talk about my own experiences and give my own thoughts and opinions. But if anything I say could be helpful, then I'm happy to do so. I mentioned at the start about the blanket that I finished crocheting. I've been doing that in the evenings when I listen to a podcast because it was quite an easy project and didn't require much concentration. The kimono cardigan I mentioned a few videos back that I had just sort of started. I'm now at the stage where I'm sewing all the bits of it together. So when I've finished eating, I'm actually going to finish making that. I hope to God it fits me and doesn't look like I've ordered it from wish.com. I found that when I needed distraction after eating, doing something that engaged my mind and my hands worked really well for me because it was taking up my full focus. Mindfulness was also a good one sometimes. Luckily, I'm at the stage now where I don't need to do that. I'm just doing the crochet because I like it. Talking about distraction techniques reminds me that I need to do today's Wordle. Haven't done that yet, but stuff like cross stitch or colouring in also helped me, or even watching a video by someone like Megsy Recovery or a phone call with my mum. I would say that if you are following any kind of meal plan and you're finding that that voice in your head is saying, do I really need this? Should I really be eating this? The answer is always yes. I find the best way to approach it, for me, it may work for you, it may not, is to just almost be on autopilot. This is what I'm meant to eat. This is when I'm meant to be eating it. Go, make it, sit down, eat it. Don't allow that voice to worm its way in. Don't allow it to convince you that what you're doing is in any way wrong or bad. It's not. We're human. We need to eat, just like we need to breathe. I do know that not everyone may be able to do this. I'm just lucky, I guess, that it works for me and that I've found a way that does work for me. And I promise you, it does get easier the more you do it. It's like anything, you do have to practice doing it. It's just like you have to practice sitting with the difficult feelings. You can have these thoughts and you can have these feelings. What you can control is whether or not you act on them. You may not be able to resist acting on those thoughts every single time, especially at the beginning, but every time that you do resist, it's a victory for you. And once you've done it, nobody and nothing can take that away from you. When I'm eating and not filming, I tend to read, and this is what I'm currently reading. And it is such a good book. It's set in America, and it's about a woman who has married a guy who has a daughter from a previous marriage, and he goes missing, or he takes off, and it's basically unraveling the mystery of his past and his daughter's past, and also about her developing a relationship with this 16-year-old girl who really doesn't like her very much. It is a thriller, and I found it really enjoyable. I found that reading while I ate helped to distract me from any negative thoughts about food, and the eating disorder voice was quieter because I was actually focusing on the story. I have got my phone here with notes on of things that I wanted to talk about that might be useful. When you're concentrating on something else, like a book or even the TV or a podcast, it can help distract you from engaging in any behaviours or rituals that you might have when it comes to eating. It is hard to do recovery on your own, but if you are in a situation where you live alone, like I do, or if you don't have any kind of mental health support, you can still get better. It's going to be really, really difficult and hard, but it will be worth it and you can do it. The approach that worked for me was making small changes rather than trying to tackle everything at once, because every time I did that, it would just overwhelm me and I'd freak out and just go straight back to all my bad habits. When I started trying to work on one thing at a time, that's when I started to have more success. And it was hard and still is hard at times. And there are still aspects I need to work on. And I need to watch that when I'm working on one thing, something else isn't getting worse to kind of make up for it. It is a balancing act, but I guess I just want you to know that you can do it as long as you want to, and as long as you're willing to try and to commit, you can. There was an awful lot of trial and error involved, and if you want me to go into any more detail about any of the things that I tried and ways that worked for me, then all you have to do is ask. I have just finished watching Inventing Anna on Netflix, and a lot of people have said how good it is. I was on episode 5 before I actually started to really get into it. I'm somebody who, if I start a book or I start a series, unless it is really bad, I will see it through to the end. And I was just about to give up on Inventing Anna, and then it did get much more interesting. But I have started watching Pieces of Her, which is the Netflix adaptation of a Karen Slaughter book, which I've read. The adaptation is so good. It stars Toni Collette, and she's just brilliant in the part. But that's something I can recommend if you are someone who likes crime. Obviously, I do mean if you're somebody who likes watching crime shows or reading crime novels, not if you're an actual criminal. On the podcast front, my recommendation is Parenting Hell with Rob Beckett and Josh Widdicombe. It is hilarious, even if you don't have kids, which obviously I don't. I have had different levels of support throughout my journey, but a lot of the progress that I've made since beginning YouTube has been off my own bat and from my own motivation. So I do have perspective from, I guess, both sides of the coin, doing it with support and more or less without. I'm someone who used to not even like being seen with food. If a person at work asked me if I could pick up a chocolate bar from the vending machine for them when I was on my break, I would feel guilty just because I thought people might think I was buying it for myself. And even if I was, there'd be nothing wrong with that. But here I am, eating and filming it and putting it out for anyone and everyone to see. I found eating with other people really helped me to normalise my eating. So if you are on your own, I'm hoping that my video might be able to help you a bit with that. You may be sitting and thinking, God, the end of this journey is just so far away. But don't look at the end. Just look at the next milestone that you need to get to. I'm still very much on the journey and I haven't reached the end yet, but I am a hell of a lot closer than I was when I started YouTube. I do hope this video has been beneficial in some way. Like I say, I've been in two minds about whether or not to record something like this, and I decided, why the hell not? Try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does, brilliant. So I would like your feedback on it. And if you haven't liked it and haven't found it useful, please don't be afraid to tell me that. I can take criticism and feedback if it's given in a constructive, helpful way. And as I say, you can always do it by a direct message on Instagram if you don't want to put a public comment on YouTube. You guys are the reason I make videos. I want to make stuff you want to watch. And if I'm making stuff that you don't want to see, if I do more videos like this in the future, then it would be really great to have some guidance as to what you guys would find helpful. Just tell me. If you're on this same recovery journey and my experiences can help you in any way, that's what I want. We can and we will do this. My next upload will be Sunday, 6 p.m. as usual, and it is one that I think you will enjoy. I hope you will enjoy anyway. And then there'll be one the following Wednesday as usual. I'm almost at the end of my wrap and the end of this video. I really hope you'll have the best weekend possible. Do take care. And if you haven't subscribed already, please be my friend. Bye.